Hi, welcome to another episode of Comics Review. I'm your host, Kevin Starkey. Briefly want to mention a comic first. I'm not going to review it, but this is 5 Ronin, issue number 5 of 5 from Marvel. And this issue focuses on Deadpool. And the only reason I want to mention it is because I've mentioned all of the other ones. This came out weekly, and this is the final issue. So I'm expecting things to get wrapped up in here and have a great ending, and I was disappointed with the ending in this. It was anticlimactic. I don't know. I was very disappointed. I guess I don't really know who Deadpool is, so that's probably. I mean, I've heard the name, but I haven't looked him up. I don't know anything about him. So he comes along and he's in this one, and he does something that some of the characters from previous ones. I said I wasn't going to review this, and I'm ending up reviewing it. Some of the other characters we're going to do, and I don't know. I don't know. I was disappointed. I was expecting something else, I guess. So the first comic I want to review today for real is RPM. This is issue number 4 from 12 Gauge, who I like 12 Gauge a lot. They come out with some really neat stories and art. This one is written by Mick Foley and Shane Riches, and the art is by Jose Holder. And I've enjoyed this series. The premise is this guy, he's a descendant of Paul Revere, the American sort of icon, American history. He, I don't know, if you know who, look him up, I guess, if you don't know who Paul Revere is. But basically, his job is to transport. He's like the transporter, if you've seen those movies. Someone pays him money and gives him something of value that they want taken from point A to point B, and he does it. And there's always danger involved in it, and it's usually some high value thing. So, this is the final issue of this series, and so I don't want to give it away, but the ending of this one is another disappointment. But before I get to that, I mean, the artwork in here is really cool. I really enjoyed it. I love the colors, love the style. The writing is good. I've really enjoyed this series, and then it comes to the end, and there's a little twist where something is revealed, and usually sometimes that's good, but in this it was a disappointment. It's like I don't know. I was disappointed in the ending. If you've read this series and maybe you loved the ending, please leave a comment and let me know your views on it, because I really wanted to like this series, and I was disappointed with the ending. The next series is kind of right. The next comic I want to talk about is Suicide Forest. This is issue number 4 of 4. This is another final issue here, and I've talked about this series previously. It takes place in China, I think. Oh no, Tokyo. I'm sorry, in Japan. Love the artwork. Very Asian. Let me mention the writer. El Torres is the writer, and the art is Gabriel Hernandez. And neat coloring. It's about this forest where people go to commit suicide, and this girl works there, basically cleaning up all the dead bodies. And this American guy is living there, and he's lost his ex-girlfriend. She committed suicide, and she committed a bunch of murders, and he's trying to deal with it. And this girl who works there, her father committed suicide in that forest. And this just sort of wraps up their story. It was just this was another one that ended, and it was not a great ending for me. Which I was disappointed. I'm getting a little discouraged with some of these short series that are great, and then the ending's sort of a dud. But that's the way it goes sometimes, I guess. If you've read this series and you like the ending, let me know, because I really enjoyed it up until the very end of this, and maybe you can change my mind on it. So, you know, I don't know. We'll see. Then this is The Last Zombie, issue number 5 of 5. Another ending. Brian Keene is the writer on this, and it's similar to most zombie things, Walking Dead, stuff like that. It's in black and white. Really neat artwork. Great writing. I love the story. I guess I'll recap the story. There's basically, in Colorado, there's a military base, and there's this scientist guy there, and he's trapped there. Then he's got a girlfriend out on the East Coast. I think that she's at a military base also. I think they're in West Virginia, and he's been in contact with her for a while, which has helped him because they can't get to each other, but they know that the other one's safe, and they lose contact with the base in West Virginia. So this team of military people, along with this doctor, scientist guy, and he's actually trying to come up with a cure for this zombie virus, is what they are calling it. So he's got a prototype which it'll just like prolong your life before you turn into a zombie. So he hasn't quite gotten to the cure. So it's mostly been about the interaction between these military people and the doctor and some of the other, that little band of people that's trying to travel in a tank, across country. And the story sort of, I was expecting to be wrapped up in this, and it basically ends by telling you there's going to be another series after this. So who knows how many series there's going to be. I could probably do some research and figure it out, but I haven't done that yet. So I can't say that this was a terrible ending, because it wasn't an ending at all. So I like the series quite a lot. I'm just slightly disappointed that this wasn't the end of it. I was expecting it to be the end. But I'll definitely be picking up the next series. It's The Last Zombie Inferno is what the name of that one will be. And there's a shot of that on the back cover. So, if you're into zombies, I would say definitely check that series out if you've missed it. And then the final comic I'm going to review today is Undying Love. This is issue number 1. It's by Image Comics, by the way. I didn't say what any of the other ones were. Oh yeah, I did. RPM was that, and Marvel was 5 Ronin. The Suicide Forest, that's IDW. And The Last Zombie is Antarctic Press, I think. Yes. So Undying Love. Tom Coker, I guess is his name, is the writer and the artist, and Daniel Friedman is also the writer and the artist. Kind of unusual. This is book 1. The premise of this is this guy, his name's John, and the girl, I think her name is May. That might be how you pronounce it. They're in love, and she is a vampire. I guess that's what the Undying in the Undying Love is. And he has taken it upon himself to the task of finding the vampire who turned her, and in the mythology of this series, if he can find him and kill him, then he has a chance of curing her from being a vampire. Neat artwork in here, good writing, I like the coloring, fun story. John has to find this sort of a wise man. Cool shot there in the middle. This wise man that will, give him advice, tell him what he needs to do, and then so you find out. He meets the guy. I don't want to give away what the guy's like, because that was kind of neat to find that out. And then he says, okay, if you find the guy, do this to him and bring something back to me, and I'll do my thing, and we'll be able to save your girlfriend. Neat series. Definitely adding that to my pull list. Highly recommend that one. I have a huge stack of stuff. I guess the first thing, let me mention, I ordered a couple of graphic novels, Incognito by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, and this is Robotica. This is volume 1, and this is by I forget this dude's name. Let me look him up right here real quick. Alex Shakeman. He's from the USSR, and I started reading it. It hasn't been as exciting as I thought it was going to be. The artwork's kind of cool, neat story. I also have volume 2, so I might review them both after I finish reading them. And Incognito, I've been collecting the series Incognito, and it's about to end actually. Bad Influences is in my stack of stuff here. And I felt a little bit lost in that series. It's by Icon. And hopefully this will fill in a lot of the blanks for me on that whole story. So I'm looking forward to reading that. This is The Bronx Kill. It's by Vertigo. It's the Vertigo crime series. And these are all in black and white, these Vertigo crime books. I've got a few other ones that I've read and talked about before. Let me read you the premise of this real quick. Martin's dad wanted him to be a cop. It was in the keen blood, but he had other ideas. Martin wanted to be a writer. And then Martin's lovely wife goes missing. Slowly but surely, Martin's life unravels as he tries to explain her disappearance. His desperate search forces Martin to delve into the very thing he spent his whole life trying to run from, the dark history and darker secrets of the Keene family, bringing him to the Bronx Kill, the lonely, godforsaken stretch of land where many years earlier his great-grandfather had been brutally murdered, the place where he'll learn the truth about his wife and his family, a truth more shocking and monstrous than he could have ever imagined. Sounds pretty good. I'll plan on reviewing this when I've read it, and let you guys know what I thought of it. Now, real quick, this is one I talked about, Incognito, Bad Influences. This is issue number 5 of 5. Here's American Vampire, issue number 13. This is from Vertigo, my favorite series from last year. Here's Kick-Ass 2, number 2. That's from Icon. Sticks and Stone. This is issue number 3. It's by Blue Water Comics. The Walking Dead Weekly, number 13. That's by Image. Here's Scarlet, number 5. That's also by Icon. A lot of Icon stuff this week. Star Wars, Darth Vader and the Lost Command. This is issue number 3 from Dark Horse. True Blood, Tainted Love. That's issue number 2 from IDW. And then this bizarre cover here that you're going to love. This is number 1 from Image. Butcher Baker, The Righteous Maker is the name of that. I haven't read it yet, so I'm not sure what that's about. And here's Caligula, number 1. It's got this cool wraparound cover. I don't know if you can see it, what it looks like on the back there, but it's pretty cool. Like a blade slicing a guy's head in half or something. This is from Avatar, and looked kind of cool. And that's it for this week. Please leave a comment here on YouTube or over on my blog at twodognight.net. Let me know what you're reading this week. Have you read any of the stuff I talked about, and especially some of these series that ended? If you've read them and you had a different opinion, please let me know, because I'd like to be brought around to actually liking some of the endings of those. And that's it. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.